What is up, guys? And welcome to Tuesday, gentlemen.
It's another Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Good to have you back, John. You feeling better?
Yeah, a little bit. That thing's still hanging on me, but I'm moving around pretty good now.
Good deal.
He tried to do a little distancing and everything by not being here last week, but unfortunately, he still managed to get me sick. I'm suffering through, though. I got my Dayquil.
Yeah, hey, you got to spread around the wealth here. Got to share.
Yeah. Did you at least manage to catch some fish down there before you got sick?
Yeah, so we got down there Friday afternoon to the beach and caught a real nice whiting right off and another small one. And then Audrey's coworker was coming down with her 13-year-old son and his little buddy, right? And they got there. I talked to them. They have never fished, ever. So I took them down. I showed them the reels and how they worked and how to cast and taught them how to cast, how to put bait on the hook, and then just said, there you go. There's 2 rods. Go at it, boys. And sat back and they caught some whiting. I mean, they had a blast. And then the next day we stayed at the house, and I started feeling bad that day. But we had a canal right there at the house. And so I gave the boys 2 of the inshore rods and bait and all that. And they went out there and just fished, catching croaker, sand trout, and catfish. They didn't care what they were catching. They were just catching and having a ball. So I got them boys hooked on fishing now.
Awesome. You did your job. You did what you were supposed to, and you did it right too. If I was going to be tasked with getting somebody into fishing, that is exactly how I would do it.
Yeah, get them in there where there's, they're going to catch fish, and that age and being brand new, they didn't care what they were catching. Yeah, they weren't like, oh, I need a bull red or any of that. They're just, I caught something, and they're excited as hell. So it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Exactly right. Real quick, hello to everybody in the chat. We got Peter Orchard Studios. What's up, Peter?
Hey, Peter.
Saying that we need to be doing whiskey for being sick. David Martin, Wild Japan. Evening, guys.
What's up? Good to see you guys.
Yep, good to see you.
Grant, what have you been up to, man? What have we missed from you since we all last got together?
I did finally get a night vision video out, one of the 2. But man, it's been hard. It was tough. We had the hurricane rain Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and pretty much off and on Monday. And finally today, the sun's shining. It's windy, but I did manage to get a food plot planted Friday before the rain came in. So nice. We'll see if it got washed away or not. I don't know. Haven't been out there since, but looking at the trail camera, I moved the trail camera to that spot where I planted the food plot. And it's looking like it's greening up a little bit. So fingers crossed and high hopes. So far, there's been some does walking through it, and did get the first bobcat yesterday morning at like 4:40 a.m. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And, what'd you plant?
It was a mixture from Walmart. Let me see here. I'll pull it up. It was, I know it had that, it's called rape, and some kind of, it was all annuals. Mega plot, annual food plot mix, winter wheat, forage rape, and annual clover.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
What's up, man? Fish without a boat.
What's up,
man?
So we'll see. There's still a bunch of standing beans that the farmer is supposed to bush hog eventually, but we'll see. We just been getting does on camera. We were out there, I guess it was Saturday night, and there was 3 bucks closer to us than they were the camera. Well, not really. They were but they were too far from the camera to get a good look at. They were right in front of where I had the camera previous to Friday, but we're going to get out there and learn. I thought about trying to go live from we bought a blind, and I thought about like maybe during the show being out there in the blind, see if we could see any deer. I think that'd be pretty neat.
That'd be really cool, man.
Yeah,
you gotta do that.
So yeah, if you guys are cool with that, what you guys think in the chat? I'll do that next week. I'll go sit in the live stream.
I've always thought that
Yeah.
we need more on location, remote
Yeah.
segments.
My problem is I don't go anywhere right now, and I don't fish. So
my signal's not that great. Like I would barbecue on Tuesdays and just do the live stream while barbecuing, but I didn't know if anybody would really want that.
I'm changing my channel name to A&J Indoors.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
David said nighttime chat with the night vision. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility too. Once the time changes, you can still see a little after 7 o'clock now, but it's definitely the days are getting shorter by a couple of minutes each day.
Yeah, that's true. I think next Tuesday would be great, as long as the weather works for you and everything.
Right. Okay. Cool. I'll try it out. I'm planning on trying to go getting the blind set up. I've got a spot cleared out right by that food plot, but I also cleared out another spot. So my whole plan for this duck blind, I was telling Janet I wanted a place where I could walk down from the top of the woods because there's about a 10-foot drop. Walk down from the top of the woods down to the bottom of the woods where I want my duck blind. So after I got done planting that food plot, I was over there checking out about where I wanted the duck blind built eventually. And there's already it's a perfect peninsula of dirt. Of course, it was covered in autumn olives and some nasty vines with thorns on them.
Oh, shit.
So, I ended up going and buying a chainsaw Friday night, too. I haven't been back out there since. A Sawzall and a little 6-inch battery-powered chainsaw. Yeah, it wasn't cutting it anymore, so.
You got the real deal, huh?
It's already got, this perfect dirt peninsula is what it is, coming down right to where I already wanted the duck blind already. So then it'll be flooded on both sides once I can get the levee built. I mean, it's crazy. It's like it's meant to be. My vision was already there.
I was just gonna say that. It's like it's meant to be.
Yeah. Just gotta get the funds for the levee to get built.
Yeah.
We'll get it figured out soon. It'll be, and there was probably 15 or 20 ducks that flew over us last night.
Nice.
Envious of that, man.
It's early.
That's awesome.
We ended up getting our so October 1st is the first day of bow season here, and we got to do our picks for duck season. So Janet and I both got our 5 picks apiece for duck season. I think the best I got was 4th pick, and she got a 5th pick. And then we got some teens, and then I got a last pick, but we got some mediocre picks, so we should get some decent spots for duck hunting this year.
Cool.
If there's any ducks, we'll see.
I've never heard of this. Danny's saying he almost made a kayak duck blind.
Yeah, they sell them.
That?
Yeah, they actually sell them.
Or a real big kayak.
Yeah,
I know they do it out of little boats, but
I can see that working well for deer.
Deer.
Yeah, especially a crossbow or a gun. You could just lay down and sneak up on them on the bank.
Actually, I could see that being a lot of fun, Danny. If you went down the land cut and went for coyotes, I could see that being a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's legal. It might not be if I'm wrong about
that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I think it's legal.
Yeah, I know you can't shoot at a duck, probably a deer too if the motor's running. Like if you're running a boat, you're not supposed to shoot at a duck with the motor running. And I think you're supposed to come to a stop before you shoot, but
Ben.
Took me a second.
Me too. I was reading it. I'm like, what is he? Oh, I get it.
Are you still in Alaska, Ben? We have pictures of that. We're going to be pulling up here in a bit. I'm really curious because it looks like you're having an adventure. I'd also like to say that future reference, if you need an assistant to travel to Alaska with you and help, just take care of whatever things you would use. I don't even know what assistant does, but I know that for a trip to Alaska, I'd be happy to fulfill the role. Back home. Okay. Well, next time.
Go fishing in the house.
What's up? We go fishing.
He had a fantastic week this week, which we'll be seeing here shortly. He is tearing up the redfish out at the beach right now. And they're there for anybody who's interested. So tonight we're going to be talking about the most asked questions, and we're going to be giving you all the answers on the most asked questions. So if you're catching us after the fact, if you're coming in on this video, that's what we're going to be doing here. The entire purpose of this live stream tonight is simply to ask the questions that are the most asked things on the internet. If we don't manage to tackle some of the questions that you may have, hit us up in the Premier Discord server. We'll talk more about that later, but we can give you any answers that you got there, and we can pull those up for future live streams as well.
How you doing, Bait the Hook?
What's up, Tim? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Ben said he never got to see the Northern Lights. That's a bummer.
Wow. Could have saw him from here in Texas not too long ago.
Yeah, right. I was kind of bummed about that one too.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Yeah, there were some places close to here that people saw them.
Yeah. Well, do we want to get into those questions, Stanley?
Let's do it because we got a few. So starting things off, and of course, if you're in the chat and everything, you got any questions, throw them at us. We might not give you right answers, but we will give you answers.
Yeah.
We'll give you uneducated opinions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't try this at home.
So this is the most asked fishing question on the internet. And obviously, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a very simple, very easy answer to this.
In the water.
And the answer is simply Padre Island. Everybody knows that.
My answer is in the water.
In the water. Right in front of the fish. Actually, that is the real answer. 90-10 rule. Right in front of the fish.
Uh-huh.
Finding the fish is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
To do that, my 2 cents, you're looking for the best place to fish. So that's going to be, I think that these guys are going to agree with me on this one. The main answer on this one is to go to a local, go to your bait stand, go to your tackle outfitters, go to Academy if you don't even know where the outfitters are. Go to the Walmart fishing section, anywhere, and just find out where the bait guy is. Find out where the outfitter guy is. They love to talk. They love to tell a story. That has never been more evidence than by the fact you can't go fishing without 15 guys in GoPros jumping on the exact same rock that you're fishing every time you catch a fish. Everyone loves to tell their story. You find that guy, he will give you all the answers, I promise. He's not going to give you the best fishing spots, but he is going to tell you good places to go fishing.
Yeah. Also, the internet. Look, like here, San Antonio, Facebook, we got 210 fishing. 210 is our main area code, and so people go on 210 fishing and talk about what's biting where in the local area. So most localities have forums or Facebook groups or whatever for the area they're in. And yeah, some of the old grumpies are like, quit telling people where the fish are. But just, you don't even have to go in there and ask. Just look through some postings and pictures. And yeah, we were down here and caught these, and then put 2 and 2 together. Oh,
Right.
bad timing on that. Stop it.
That's the alarm for them.
Yeah.
Producer trying to pull you off stage. You're out of time.
I'll say I like the in the water comment. Depends on what you personally like. Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess it depends where you're at. You guys versus me. Fresh water all the time is going to be a little bit different than Padre Island. It's not going to be my answer because I've only been there once, but it was fun. We go fishing, says Bass Pro Shops at Wild Japan at the aquarium. I was going to say in somebody else's bucket, like the lake around here, you can drive around and everybody's got their bucket sitting outside against this bank. You just drive around and pick out of other people's buckets if you're going to do that.
That's solid fishing advice right there.
Exactly.
But it is a good way to see somewhere like that. It is a good way to see, okay, This guy doesn't even have his bucket out yet. You know, he's not catching
Mhm.
anything here.
Yep.
This guy, he's leaving already because he's already got his limit. That time.
Ben's got a good point. Find the bait, whatever they're eating, find the fish.
And that's what that's the information that you're looking for. You go talk to your outfitter, you go talk to your bait guy. This is the information you're looking for. What are they eating, and where is it, the stuff that they're eating? Where is the structure? All of that stuff. That's what you're looking for. That's what he's going to guide you towards. Ben had an excellent question here.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a topwater enthusiast, and I don't think this isn't just topwater. This is also, you'll see guys down here on Padre Island that are notorious for, they go out there with their rod and they've got their silver spoon or their bucktail or whatever the case is, and their Johnson Sprite or whatever. And that is just all they're going to cast. And they will do that for 8 hours. And you can also, soft plastics on the bottom. Soft plastic guys, I think, tend to have a little bit more knowledge. Like they are a little bit more tuned to switching things out. But when do you decide to stop? When it's too windy? When the water's too cloudy? I've seen some guys never stop, even when it doesn't produce. I disagree with that mentality entirely. If you are physically able to switch it up, I think you need to every 45 minutes is kind of the time frame that I go with, if I physically can. Now, if I'm with family who, they're not quite as mobile as me, I'll go to the beach and I'll fish a spot for 45 minutes. If I'm all by myself and it's not producing, even if I'm using live cut bait, I'll probably give it an hour and a half at the beach with live bait. But after an hour and a half, if nothing happens, I've still got live bait on that rod, I'm moving down the beach. I have seen it where I will fish a spot and it's just dead. I've seen it where you fish a spot and you've got seaweed, 10 pounds of seaweed coming through. You move 8 miles down the beach and all of a sudden, you are in a completely different world. The waves and the water might seem the same, but all of a sudden there's no seaweed. One time we were at a spot that was just chock full of jellyfish, drove 8 miles down the road, and suddenly there was no jellyfish in the water. It was weird. I've also seen it where I couldn't catch any fish, moved 8 miles down the road, and then all of a sudden we're just slaying pompano. So I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's value in hanging out where you're at and waiting for that school of pompano to get you. I just know that if it's not working, move along. And that holds for your artificials as well. If topwater, if it's not working, you give it 45 minutes. You can switch back to it later. I cut bait, move on to something else. If it's not working, try something different.
I gotta admit, I am not a topwater fish. I mean, I wish I was. I wish I could. I think it's cool as hell to see that blow up. But I've got some topwater lures and throw them a few times. Nothing happens. All right, I'm moving on to something I know I catch fish on. So I need to have that moment where I get into some good topwater fishing to, so you learn, okay, this is what's going on and why it's going on. I'm just too new at it to be able to advise anybody on topwater.
Say, Janet, she got hooked on the topwater. She caught 2 pound, 2.5, 3 pound, bass on buzz baits. And after that, she was hooked. She ended up ordering a Ish Monroe frog online herself. And she threw that. It didn't matter where we went. She was throwing a frog, and she caught. Since she's been fishing, I haven't caught a bass bigger than she's caught.
Yeah.
And it was on her. I think everyone, I know her biggest was on a frog, but I think the first or second was on a minnow as well. We were crappie fishing and she caught it on a minnow, but her top 10 bass have been on topwater. It's just that consistency, throwing it in the right spot. And when we go around the lake with the dogs in the evenings after we go by the farm, he's 80 something. He'll be throwing a big 10-inch plug trying to catch a big 10-pound bass. I mean, he's just popping it on the water. He'll be the only guy on the lake some nights, and it'll be almost dark, and he's out there throwing that plug trying to catch the big one.
This is really interesting. There's getting some interesting insights into this that I wasn't familiar with. The best search bait. This is actually a good idea. So if you're out there, it covers water fast, lets you know where the fish are so that you can try other things. I never thought to do that. To me, topwater, so I don't get to do shallow water, sight casting for reds very often. If I did, I'd be using more topwaters. What I typically use them for is if we're getting Spanish mackerel, kingfish out on the jetty. Maybe if we're in close off the beach on a boat, that's where we're going to use top waters primarily for that kind of stuff. So to me, it's more of a water clarity thing. Like if we've got clear enough water, if the conditions are calm, that's when the kingfish and Spanish mackerel move in, and that's where I'd be using them. But that's probably more a me thing than it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ben, I'm a spoon guy myself. I live and die by slab spoons.
Very good. All right. So we've answered 2 questions already. One from our folks here in the chat. And one that you got.
Hey, drop that like, yo.
Yo, drop a like, yo.
All right. Next question on the board, which is just a wonderful follow-up. When is the best time to fish?
When you can go.
Anytime you can get away. It's not just about catching fish. And it does need to be like, you want to get into it. You want to learn how to catch your fish. You want to get good at it. It is a discipline, not a hobby. But that having been said, sometimes, you're going to get a lot of good practice, whether or not you're actually going to get into the fish. I've had many really fun experiences where I went out on days where I'm like, man, I'm not going to catch anything. As a YouTuber, I'll be like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to film some stuff and I'm going to get a video regardless of whether or not I catch anything at all. And I end up having a lot of fun. It's a beautiful day out. Maybe I get into stuff. Maybe I don't. You can never tell what's going on. You can read all the conditions in the world, throwing top waters before a storm, 7 days after a full moon in not super clear water conditions, and it can be night and day from everything you've ever been told. So get out there and just go do it and enjoy your time.
It's really dependent on where you're fishing and what you're fishing for. I mean, some things, timing is important. Like we got a white bass run here, and that's only a certain time of the year when the white bass run in the river that you can get at them. If you're late, you miss them. If you're early, you miss them. So, but just get out there. Time on water. The more time you're out there fishing, the more luck you seem to have. It might not all be luck anymore after that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and as far as first light, midday, last light, midnight, I mean, I've had luck at all those times.
Before a storm, during a storm, after a storm.
Yeah. Sure enough.
They're there. I mean, they're there. And, think about it. All those fish do is they swim and they eat and they make little baby fish. And that's their entire cycle. And so, yeah, there's going to be times when they are more hungry than other times. And there's going to be places that there's going to be, where they're going to be wanting to hang out. All you got to do is identify those things. And if you find out where they're at, you get in front of them, there are going to be times where you're more likely to catch them than others. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to catch them at those other times. It's just a little bit more difficult is all. Exactly. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. And we're going to the coast to fish, for example. It's a few hours, so we're going to have to rent someplace to stay. So we got to do that in advance and put in work leave, vacation days, whatever. You're going to fish when you're there. It might be the worst conditions, but that's when you're there. So you try to fish it.
Yeah. Right. True. Full moon at dawn, major feed plus good tide movement. Okay. Now we got the harvest moon. Is that the next full moon or what is it? I know there's something.
I don't know. I just recently got into moon phase stuff. And here's the extent of my moon phase stuff. Tides, like I know my tides, but the whole full moon thing, like fish don't bite after a full moon. I've seen that one enough times to where I am a firm believer in that one.
Gotcha.
As far as like your different moons, your different harvest moon, it's like I don't know which is which. I don't know what a blue moon is.
Either.
Good tide movement. That's one that I've also learned from too. Yeah. Tide movement.
Slack tide is usually not very good.
Flat tide.
Slack
Which one's
tide when it's just not
slack?
moving, yeah. And if it's an incoming tide, there's certain places you want to be to fish. If it's outgoing tide, there's certain locations, where you want to be to fish because it's moving bait, and so the predator fish typically set up in a certain location to catch that bait, depending on which way the tide's moving it.
Exactly right. Yeah, down here we see a lot of it in the flats where we have these grass beds that are, they're exposed, and then when the tide comes up, all these grass beds are underwater, and the bait go and hide in those grass beds. It's breeding ground, and it's a great hiding place and all of that. Well, when the tide comes back down, all that bait fish gets chased out of those grass beds and down into the canals and the sand beds and stuff. And all the predators, they know. They've been doing this for hundreds of centuries. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing, and they're just going to sit there and wait at the edge of those grass beds, wait for that bait to go by. You put your bait on the edge of those grass beds. When the tide is going down, you will catch fish.
Yeah. Good example. All right. What's our next question?
Next up, what do I need to go fishing?
You need a $50,000 boat, a $300 rod reel combo, at least 4
Get out of
those.
here, $300. Try that $1,800 outfit.
Yeah, you need $1,500 worth of lures that most of you will never even use.
Yep, every color of soft plastic. Every color of soft plastic.
If you're a fly fisherman or a bass fisherman, just quadruple all that.
Yeah. If you're a fly fisherman, and probably this goes into the same thing with soft plastics as well, you need the rig to make your own.
Yeah.
You got to be tying your own flies. You got to be making your own soft plastics, and they better be scented, and they better be pen-shaped. Your wife's permission.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
I like that one. That too. I mean, what are you fishing for? If you're going for bluegill, hell, a cane pole with a simple float and a hook and some worms or crickets or whatever, and you're good to go. So
True story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's $3, or it was like 2 years ago when it was all the big rage on YouTube was doing the weird Walmart challenges, and it's $3 for a cane pole at Walmart.
There you go. And your fishing license.
Yeah.
Look who chimed in on the wife's permission. Hey, babe.
Hey.
Very funny, but true.
Probably a fishing license and whatever other politically correct stuff you need.
Safety gear, depending on if you're going on a boat or what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm just a hook and some fishing line, and you want to put that on a pole, cool.
And if you got a few dollars, possibly the easiest way to go fishing, if you want to spend the money, is hire a local guide for wherever you want to fish.
Worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. Not only will you likely catch fish if they're any good, but then you also get to learn a lot about whatever that area is you're fishing at. So
yeah, the knowledge that you gain from spending an afternoon with a guide will stay with you forever.
Yep, for sure.
And also a little benefit that people don't typically think of. It just kind of sweetens the pot. It doesn't make that much of a change to me, but it sweetens it a little bit. You go out fishing with a guide. You've both got your fishing license. Let's say it's a 4-bag limit on a species of fish. So you're going to catch 8 fish, and the guide probably doesn't care. This, it's different for everybody, but he probably doesn't care. You're probably going to get to go home with his limit. So if there's a 4-fish limit, you're very likely to go home with 8 fish.
Nice.
If he's good.
What's up, Yankee Crank?
Yeah, Yankee Cranks.
Man. Pick a lure, make it work. Don't buy everything. Yeah. I own everything. And I'll tell you right now, I use probably 2 or 3 different hooks, mostly one hook. I mostly use circle hooks, but then I like my Shaughnessy's for some stuff. I like those little split shots, and I'll have some larger size weights. I like my spider weights for the surf. That's it, dude. All the stuff that I own, and I've literally got 5 tackle boxes of stuff, and I've got one this big that is my EDC. That's my everyday carry that has everything I need for 95% of the trips that I do.
I've got, don't, Audrey, plug your ears. I got way more fishing gear than I actually need.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, you want to challenge, like this is something I swear I'm going to pull off one of these days. I'm just too lazy to go out there and physically do it. But I want to go do a day out at the Port Aransas Jetty where I'm just going to walk out there with a knife and I'm going to bring home dinner. Because you don't need to buy a damn thing. Everything you need is right there.
There you go, right there, Ben.
So if you can throw a knife, stab him. Are you just gonna dive? You're gonna snorkel on them?
Nope, just a knife. Not even gonna. Well, I might get wet, but I'm not gonna be snorkeling or anything. There's just basically there's so much gear out on those rocks. Like so, people have lost so much gear. You can go pull everything you need right out of the rocks.
Gotcha.
Panelists in the house.
So, panelist?
What's up, panelist?
You got any fishing questions? Throw them our way. That's what we're doing right now. We're answering all the most difficult questions in life right now.
Stanley Overnight in the Woods Challenge.
There's no
like
fishing.
Naked and Afraid. No, thank you.
Oh, I'm game. I am so game for my next video. Will be coming out in a couple of days here, and I literally that eel that I caught, I go naked and afraid on that eel.
Oh Lord, help us!
Nice.
Oh God, I should have been naked for that. Honestly, like that would have been epic.
There's an idea right there.
One of these
flounder season. Better hurry up. It closes up in November.
So I don't want to do this. I'm too old, so I'm going to hand this idea off to anybody who wants it. But what you do for flounder is you go to the cafes, like when it's cold out, you go to the cafe in Port Aransas and you get yourself a nice warm cup of coffee and pick up a newspaper, and the newspaper will tell you when those ships are coming through the channel. When the ship comes through the channel, you walk down to the channel. There's some flats up in there. The ship sucks out all the water, and you can go run out into the muddy flats and you just pick up the flounder off the bottom. The trick is to get back to the jetty before that wake comes and washes you away.
Yeah, that's not for me.
A young kid to get out there and do the run for you.
There you go.
Definitely. All right, we got another question.
Yep, it's that time. Let's see. Next one up, we got. How much does it cost to go fishing?
You know what? I've come to learn in my years of different hobbies is a hobby, whether it's fishing or whatever, can be as expensive as you want it to be, or as cheap as you want it to be, right? When we were talking about the cane pole and the float and the hook, not very expensive. When we talk about a boat, fuel, the offshore fishing gear and all that, it gets super expensive. So I don't know if there's a one answer for that. It costs as much as you want it to cost.
It can be done at any cost. And that's not to say either. So, I've done those really expensive fishing trips. I've done a few. And those are a lot of fun. Those, I'm not going to lie, those are a fun trip. But you don't need a $500,000 boat and $50,000 worth of tackle and, a $10,000 per day crew. You don't need all of that stuff to get out and have fun fishing. Maybe I'm just weird, but I have that's exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I have. Maybe I'm just blessed this way, and I just need to be more thankful to God for putting this in me. But I have just as much fun going and getting bluegills at the lake in Wisconsin that I do when we are catching tuna offshore on the continental shelf.
Nice.
Like, it is all fun, and there's you can go get those bluegills off the bank with a $3 cane pole.
True story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, taking a loan and maxed out credit cards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, any discipline is anything that you Anything that you want to do is going to be like that, regardless of whether you want to play guitar. You can do that with a $10 guitar. You can also do that with a $10,000 guitar.
Yeah,
True story.
You want to make a Jeep your off-road vehicle? You can just get a cheap Jeep and there it is, or you can spend your money on suspension and tires and wheels and lockers and brew. You can buy a little home brew kit and brew your own little beer, or you can end up doing full grain brewing with a kegerator. And it just, every hobby I've had has started out, oh, this ain't too bad, and got to, holy crap, I'm spending too much money doing this.
Damn, Gunpoint, what in the world are you doing over there?
All right, burning places down. What the?
You guys see that fire in Georgia yesterday?
In Georgia, I didn't.
Familiar with it, no.
You got to check that out, man. It's like a chemical fire in Georgia. There was like 10 different colors of smoke. It was crazy.
That is
Close to Atlanta. Yeah, it was bad. Sorry.
What's up, Luke Darnar?
Hey, Luke Darnar, man. It's been a minute. Good to see you here, bro.
What's up?
Yeah, exactly. If shoes can be an investment, then anything can, dude. Shoes, basketball cards, comic books, you name it. You can invest in anything. Fishing's just the same way. And man, I tell you what, too, it can be an investment. And I've got a lot of money invested in my equipment. I enjoy what I get to do. But that having been said, when I first started this YouTube channel, I owned a rod that I bought from a pawn shop for $15. And that was my main piece of equipment for the first year of this channel. I did not own a new rod until about 3 years ago, is when I decided I was going to invest a little bit more in the stuff I was doing. It was all pawn shop stuff. So I'm a big fan of pushing that. It does have to be cheap. Even my good equipment is all stuff that I bought on discount somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
A lot of stuff. Let's see what we got. All right. Finally, this is the last one here. What are the most common mistakes people make when they're fishing?
Expecting to catch fish?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
That's like anything in life is it's not going to be perfect right out of the gate. You can go watch all the YouTube videos you want and go get all the perfect tackle, and you can be on the perfect boat. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to get in front of fish. You got to know the fish.
I like that one, Peter. Says not going.
Yeah, good call.
Going back to that one of the answers about don't overthink it. There you go.
I like it.
Oh, hooked R&R. I like that. Yeah, learn some proper knots. I've lost a few on bad knots.
Knots, and also, especially if you're going on a boat, check the weather.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
There's been a lot of people put in dangerous situations and even lives lost just because they didn't check the weather. The weather forecast was out there. It's going to be bad, and they still go.
True.
All the best fishermen that I know are also the best geologists, marine biologists, and meteorologists. They know the weather, they know the terrain, and they know the species. Yeah. Be wary of the other guys. If you're going to be in a crowded area fishing around other people, understand that making enemies is a good way to get your tires slashed, get your lines cut.
And don't trash the area.
Yeah,
that's how places get shut down.
Pick up your trash. That's a big one.
Yeah.
The common mistakes, the answer that you're looking for is stuff like, casting here instead of there. It's using the wrong hook or the wrong rod or whatever. Not fishing at the right time, not fishing at the right place. And that's not it. That's not the answer. The common mistakes are going to be like what everybody's saying, where it's just get out there and learn, go do it. Know the weather, don't just go out on a boat on a lake without any safety gear on, and Don't think that you're going to buy a $300 boat with a 1979 Johnson and it's just going to run perfect and everything's going to be cherry. Doesn't work like that.
That's a good one.
You're going to have to learn the unspoken rules. We all do. And really, like 99% of that is going to be respectful. Don't get in people's way. You are going to have to pay your dues, just like with anything. You're going to have to probably ride pine. You're going to have to sit the bench for a few sessions and go with a guide or go sit next to somebody who knows what they're doing and learn. The best thing you can do is just go offer to clean someone's boat. You want to go offshore fishing, and don't offer once. You got to offer like 50 times. Hey, I just want to scrub your decks. I just want to bait your hooks. It's worth its weight in gold. I promise you. Like, that's what I do with my Uncle Perry. That's how that whole thing came about. I went 10 years asking him just to scrub his decks. Afraid to ask. Yeah. Yeah, to ask questions. That's a heck of a thing. People do. They get scared of asking questions. Just go and ask. You need to be able to read people, because I will lie. I will be honest in that. If you're asking me like where am I going to catch fish or how to catch them, if I'm out there something like that has limited quantity, sheep's head or mangrove snapper, I might lie to you. Or I'm going to skirt the truth. But sometimes you catch me off guard. Like if somebody comes up to me and says that, like, hey, I think I've seen you on YouTube, I probably won't lie to you. I'll probably give you an honest answer of where to catch them. You know what I mean? Like just being nice and doing that.
Yeah, just ask questions and get in the friend zone, comfort zone, chat them up.
Yep. Yeah. I've get so many times. This happens to me probably 3 or 4 times a year where I'm walking out on the jetty or I'm walking back and I've got a bunch of fish, and it's the walk of fame, when you've got a stringer full of fish. I've got a bag full of ice that I'm hauling back, but you're damn right, that stringer full of fish is I'm carrying it like over my shoulders so everybody can see it. And every single time I end up having a conversation with somebody that when I get back to the truck, I'm like, why did I just tell him all that? Just ask. You see somebody with fish, ask them. Yeah, these guys have been around for a minute.
Yep. Are we out of questions now?
That was it. That was the top 5.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We still got pictures though, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Be pulling those up in just a second. And yeah, if you're watching this after the fact and you have some questions that we didn't answer, hit us up in the Premier Fishing and Hunting Discord server. We are more than happy to answer that. We can pull them up on stream, however it needs to be done, but we can get you the answers that you need.
6 in the house.
And the answer on the full moons, September 17th was the harvest moon. October 17th is the hunter's moon. November 15th is the beaver moon, and December 15th is the cold moon.
That's a good question, bro.
No.
Go ahead.
I apologize. So, a little spoiler alert. That is the topic for next week, and I'm getting us a special guest to cover that one.
What, social media killing fishing?
Yep, that's gonna So get yourself ready. We're gonna get animated about that one next week.
All right, so you're gonna have to be here next week.
Yeah,
get full blow into that one.
But be ready. I want to have that conversation, and I'm animated about it, and I'm gonna get some people, at least one person, where I can let's hammer this out.
I think social media, there's good and bad in social media as a whole, so I think it applies to fishing too.
I wonder if social media has got someone killed from fishing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 3 of us fished together a few times. That wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for social media.
It's true.
Sure.
It's true.
Friendships made.
True.
I called it first.
Yeah.
I was going to do it today. I couldn't get the guest for today. I've got a good guest for it, though. It's going to be a good one. But You know what? If you want to do a trade-off thing or something like that, we can talk it out. I'm not going to obviously, this is a great topic. So, maybe we need to be doing some kind of collaboration thing on it.
It's one of those debate things. It's going to go on forever.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
Let's see. That's funny. All right. So yeah, you nailed it. You got me on that one. And I appreciate that. That's a great way of introducing, like, and we should probably have stuff planned out a little bit more in advance like that. All right. It is that time, guys. This is our, where's the thing I can click on? I don't know. These are our photos of the week. This is brought to you by the Premier Fishing and Hunting Discord server. There is a link in the description below. So if you have not joined us, you need to be doing that. We have a lot of fun. We answer all the questions we can. And then at the end of every week's episode, we come in and take a look at all of the wonderful times that everybody has been having so that we can live vicariously through everything that everybody's been doing. So kicking things off this week, Mr. Ben Covarrubias, who's in the chat here.
Oh, shit.
Enjoying a little time out in Alaska.
That's Ben in the middle on the bottom before he's had his coffee.
Yeah, it was a rough trip.
Hopefully you had fun.
Those buildings do not look Alaska. I don't know why. I would think somewhere in Europe.
That stood out to me a little bit too. The architecture there was not what I was expecting.
Very unique.
Yep.
Very unique. Bucket list.
Did you eat the Santa Claus? Did you eat the Santa Claus mushrooms?
That's how he ended up looking like that.
They're in Canada. Oh, the buildings are in Canada. So what, you tried there or something? Road trip. Oh, Japan, yep.
And of course,
the stairway to whatever. Dun dun dun.
Just wonderful gorgeousness.
It is, but it could be a little spooky.
And those are the flowers that he was talking about last week. The death flowers or something that there's just a whole trail of them all the way down the railroad track they were looking at.
Yeah. Leg day, all them steps.
Yeah.
Gone fishing, took pictures that didn't have fish in them. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for a few of these guys. I don't recall where Gone Fishing has been, but some of these guys are out in Florida, and Austin over here is a bass fisherman. He had all this tropical storm activity where he's at, so his son was getting a little itchy and started going out into the yard and just casting for practice. And of course, thoughts and prayers out to everybody in Florida, man. We had some guys who got beat up in the server. So
East Coast.
Yeah.
Georgia, Carolinas, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still over 500,000 people without power, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's towns that are gone.
True, yeah. Crazy. A lot of rain really quick.
Yep.
Oh, there's some nice fish there. Bluegill. Somebody hooked their shirt. Is that what that is?
That's their bed pillows, their pillowcase. So, and they were asking how to get a jig head out of a bed sheet. And this probably should have been included in the questions earlier, because I know that this is something that we have all dealt with. Lures in the bed sheets.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cut the sheet.
Cut the sheet.
About the right answer. Get a new sheet.
That needs to be a t-shirt. Cut the sheet.
That's an old sheet anyways. Get that sheet out of here.
That's a good jig head, dude. You don't want to mess that up.
You got some big fish down there. Cheater. He comes out with the perfect answer. Pinch the barb.
Some nice fish, Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good trip you got there, man. I'm a little envious of that. Those jacks are fun.
deer up in there.
That's
Coho
mine.
Brothers and
Wow,
Grant
nice.
got yours. So that's the trail cam image that happened like in the middle of the stream last week. Is that right?
Yep, that was it. That was the. But
Hey,
I think that's the last time we've actually seen him.
he's
That's the one.
thick. That boy's thick.
Yeah, he's a
Mhm.
good deer.
Wow. Some good looking trout there too.
Mhm. And then of course we got Big Hit Savage.
Bass,
Hurricane ain't stopping that boy.
5 pound, 13 ounce. Wow.
Yeah, it's a stud.
Nice. That's
His
wild.
he's got the server record for bass right now for largemouth, and I don't know that anyone's going to beat him, especially if he's pulling up stuff like that. He pulled that guy out of a pond that had been drained.
Wow.
So I don't know why they got drained ponds in the middle of a hurricane. Whatever. He's still out there doing it, so no excuses. When's the best time to go fishing? The middle of a hurricane. Duh. Exactly right.
Kill him. Nice speckled trout. Got some ladyfish. Got a little snook down there.
Yeah, Ronnie had a good selection there. St. Louis Cards guy, he had a whole bunch of stuff that he was catching. He just had a whole stock thing of all the different fish he'd pulled up on that pier.
Crazy.
Good day of it. Good day out there.
Yeah, that's a fun day.
And we got North Bunch, EVR, Coho, and G Llama getting out there in nature, seeing some beautiful stuff.
Is that a snake?
Yeah, king steak.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice looking buck.
Yeah, he's that's gonna be his target buck for the fall, I think he was saying.
Nice.
He was a little upset that he was out here taunting his trail cameras. Then, of course, we go fishing, just tearing it up with the redfish and drum.
Sharks.
Everything, you name it.
Yeah. If it swims along the beach, they are catching it.
That, and of course, you know, I don't know how he's doing this on like purpose or how he's pulling this off, but half of these shots are, of course, golden hour. So,
Yeah.
kudos on that, man. Getting the whole family out there enjoying a beautiful beach day, dude. Those
Yeah,
conditions.
that surf looks nice behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's a good sized bluegill.
Yeah, man, it looks like a perfect beach day.
Wow.
You encapsulated a perfect beach day in those
Yeah.
shots.
Professional lure loser. That's a good sized bass.
Yeah, pretty.
Tilapia, trout, and a big bluegill. Hand
Yep.
size. Man, look at the mouth on that bass.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
It was a
Not bad.
beautiful trout, wasn't it? It was pretty fish.
Yeah, brown trout are beautiful. What are those down the middle?
I'm not sure. I don't know what that is. And his description was a little like there's a little bit of a, I think a little bit of translation going on with that.
The center one looks like some kind of sea bass.
I don't know why. Oh, that
The others
picture
look like
off on the
chubs.
side over there. Oh yeah, we got the mullet run happening here too. Yeah, I'm gonna be spending a little bit of time at the beach here in the very near future. I promise you.
I'll tell you what, this weekend the beach, the water was clarity was really good, but man, there were a ton of stingrays. Or not stingrays, but jellyfish. I had one get me on my thigh, and then I stepped on one that was about 8 inches across.
Dang it.
At Gunpoint Llama is the Iowa fisherman. He's the one that got that trout. He was our guest on this stream like 2 weeks ago, was it? Whichever time it was. Anyway, he just released what is really phenomenal video, like one of those ones to be really, really proud of. So I do suggest check out the Iowa fisherman. He's putting out some awesome stuff. And yeah, that fish that we were talking about is in one of the videos on his channels right now, So worth checking out. It's a good one, man. Yankee Crank, he's good people. He's in our inner circle here.
What's he got up on the right there? Is that mussel or?
Oh yeah, yeah. Iowa fisherman, please tell me that fish on the right side over here in the dark. Did you get that one on video?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fish.
Oh, okay. Couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah, it's a little guy.
Looks like bait.
Little bait fish. All right. So it is that time, guys. Those are all the pictures of the week. And it is time for us to now decide who is going to be our photographer of the week and earn a spot on the 2024 Wall of Fame. Your options this week are Professional Lure Loser, We Go Fishing, and EVR. Cast your vote in the chat. Now is the time. Get your friends in here. Get them on it. Make sure that they like this video in doing so. And let's see who's going to be our photographer of the week. Oh, he didn't get the... Dude, you got to get those on video, man. We've all done it.
I like the bass, but you got to get his face in the picture with the fish. The other two are really
Yeah, I
good.
agree, man.
That trout's pretty, but that's a big, big ugly. I don't know. Is there a big ugly on the wall?
Let's check. I don't think we have like let's see, we got a redfish there. There's another redfish.
Yeah, I don't see a big ugly on there.
We do not have a black drum on the wall.
That's a beautiful trout too. God, that's tough.
It is tough. These are so Professional Lure Loser. I forget, but I want to say that was one of the best, if not the best, fish he's caught this year. We Go Fishing. So We Go Fishing has some wins. Both Ben and Karen are on the Wall of Fame. This would be their daughter now making. Yeah, I'm assuming that is your daughter. Am I? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Just if I'm wrong, I don't want to like step on toes or anything, like mess anything up. But so we're talking about him trying to get a Texas Slam of the entire family on the Wall of Fame. EVR, that is a gorgeous fish and probably the most scenic photograph that we have, just all the way around. A lot of personality in the photo.
Lighting.
So that's what we're choosing between here. It is your daughter. Okay, thank you, Ben. I'm sorry I'm mixing that up. But
right now, We Go Fishing is killing it.
let's see.
Showing 12 in the chat. We got another 5 people that can vote at least.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, go vote.
Give me 1 second. I'm writing them down, and then I'll cast mine as
That
well.
Outdoor Live Crew was my vote.
Okay.
Okay. So we got BABB.
I just had a picture come through. It's a big raccoon, but it looks like there's a deer in the background. That's the issue. They're halfway across the field.
Can you bring it up?
I've just requested a video. All I've got right now is the raccoon picture.
I'm liking EVR. I like the scenicness of that.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Raccoon.
That's what Grant's got on the trail cam right now as we
Big ol'
speak, as we're
raccoon.
doing this.
It looks like there's a couple deer. Yeah.
Talk to your buddy about trapping them bad boys.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Mark, Greg? Oh yeah, there's a body back there.
Check that out.
And that's my rope that I'm trying to get them to go to. I've seen that on videos, but so far not a buck hadn't gone to it.
So this is obviously, this is the pitch that you need to be friends with Grant and make friends with him. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. That's what I'm seeing with all this. All right, guys, I think that's it. We're going to call it. This was a bit of a landslide victory. We Go Fishing is running away with another spot on the Wall of Fame. Congratulations, guys. Well-deserved win and an awesome catch. Keep them coming.
Yep. Congrats.
Let's get the whole family on there.
That's it.
Yep.
So congratulations to you guys on that. And, of course, also to the winners of the weekly Waitlister Award, those of you guys who went out and got a bunch of stuff and just made my life miserable by making me work putting all those photos together. It's Wild Japan, Ben Covarrubias, Eclipse, Coho Diddler, Coho Toucher, Big Hit Savage, St. Louis Cards Guy Ronnie, and We Go Fishing. Guys, thank you so much. Keep it coming.
All right. Ta-da.
Good job.
Yeah,
Good job.
so that's it. All right. It is that time. What are you guys going to be doing? What can we expect to see from you next week when we do this all over again? And then we're going to shut things down. You got 30 seconds. John, what you going to be doing?
I've got the review of that camera they sent me. I'm going to try to get that knocked out the rest of it today or this week. And then I might have got enough footage from the weekend trip to the beach to have a little beach fishing video too.
Nice.
We'll see.
Awesome. I'm gonna try to get the other night vision goggles to work. I've been having some issues with them, but other than that, no big plans. Just see what this weather does. It's supposed to cool off, so fingers crossed. I'm gonna try to go live, I guess, from the blind next week during the show.
Cool.
Oh, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I've got a good one coming out this week as well. I got the offshore trip that we did. Hopefully I'll have that published tomorrow or the next day, so keep an eye out for that. Links for everybody's channels in the description down below, as well as the Premier Fishing and Hunting Discord server. Come say hi, do all of the YouTube things, and thank you so much for joining us this week, guys. Go have an amazing weekend, and we look forward to seeing you, and we do this all over again next Tuesday. Have a great week, guys.
Peace out.
Peace. Have a great week.